Hi everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. It's a lovely Friday here in Oregon, and as promised, I thought I would do a review of this new box set of paint from Kimera Kolors, which I guess is also part of Pegasus models in Italy. These are pure pigment acrylics. They're along the lines of like an artist acrylic, same deep pigmentation and that artist acrylics have. So I thought I'd just go over them and then just kind of do a little comparison with some other brands of paint that I have, and hopefully you'll find this valuable. So first, what I thought I would do is just show you what comes in the box. They give you this nice little flyer that's in here and some mixing tips. These are pure pigments. Each bottle is 30 mils, and they are made with a single pure high quality pigment. There's a high concentration ranging from anywhere from 30 to 50% in that for the pigmentation. And as it states here, miniature paints are usually a blend of two or more pigments, which we know usually they're mixed with white in order to get some thickness to their paints and things like that, like Vallejo and other brands like that. But anyway, so on here it gives you a nice little way to show you what this is, the pure colors that come in the set. Then if you add black to it, this is what you would get out of those colors, and then if you start to add white to them, what happens. This here is the list of all of the colors. You have the magenta, red, orange, warm yellow, cold yellow, yellow oxide, which is your earth color, phthalo green, a phthalo blue on a green shade, phthalo blue on a red shade, violet, and red oxide. Then also on here they give you a mixing example of how to mix your colors, since these are, just like going into your art supply store and just picking up a tube of paint. They are expecting you to mix the colors that you want. So like if you need khaki, you mix it. Olive drab, you mix that, and things like that. So if you need something from, like a red shade, how to shade red, you can add, starting with red, you can add phthalo green to it to bring it down as a shade. You start to add orange and then white, and that'll give you a nice highlight. Let's see here, how to mix turquoise, skin tones, yellows, greens, and then that down here, a khaki mix. Okay. So it's just kind of a nice little flyer. Here are some of the artists that use the paints to test them out. Take a look at that. And then this is the box. Now, I may have brought this up before, but I think I'm like 85% sure that they built this box around a specific idea for their coloring, and I'll go over that in a minute. But essentially you get, like I read off before, your yellows, you get this is yellow oxide, so this is your earth color. You get a white, and you get orange, what they call the red, a magenta. And then down here you have a red oxide, which is your other earth color, violet, and then a phthalo blue on the red shade. You get a satin medium, because when you put these on, they are very matte finish when they dry. So if you need to add a sheen to it, they give you a satin medium. You get your phthalo blue on the green side, phthalo green, and then carbon black. Okay. Now, I know I've shown this book before, but I will bring it out again. So Blue and yellow don't make green, which is by Michael Wilcox. And this book is about how if you pick, like, traditional color wheel says there's red, blue, and yellow are your primaries. What this does is it breaks it down a little bit farther. Okay, and what I guess you would call typically a split primary. So you can have red, but you would have red that leans a little bit more towards blue. It has a little bit more blue pigment in it. Or you can have a red that has a little bit more yellowish pigment in it too. So when you mix it with, let's say you want to get orange, a nice bright orange, you would mix a yellow that has a more orange pigment in it with a red that has more orange or yellow pigment, and that will give you your nice vibrant orange. On the other side, if you're going to use blue and red to create your violets, if you pick something, if you pick a blue that's got a little bit more red in it, so like this phthalo blue red shade has more red pigment in it. So when you mix it with this red, you're going to get a very vibrant purple out of it. Okay? If you were to take this phthalo blue, which is your green, oops, get it in the shot here, Victor, your green shade, so it leans a little bit more towards green, and mix it with this red, and your purple will not be as vibrant because the green in there is going to mute that color. So like I said, I'm like 85-90% sure that that's kind of how they built this box and the colors that they chose in here. And like it says, they are single pigment colors. Let's see if we can get some light on this maybe. That just made it worse. Anyway. There we go. So, you have that pigment type, okay? So each bottle has its own pigment color, okay? Alright, and these go along with, you know, like buying oil paints or artist acrylics, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do after showing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this red because I have enough red paint from other colors, so I can do this pretty easily. It might not totally match, but it'll be close. Essentially, I'm going to take, hey, sorry about that everybody, my memory card on my camera was full. So I got that straightened out, so I'm back. Essentially what I'm going to do is I have a just canvas panel from Blick Art Supplies, which is a art supply company here in the United States. There's nothing on this. This is just plain white canvas board. And I'm going to take each color that I have, which are all reds. I'll just put them across the top here. And then I'm going to take a brush, just dipped in water, no other mediums whatsoever. And I'm just going to essentially wash them out as far as I can on this to see how far the pigments go and just kind of compare them. I'm going to show you the colors that I have. Obviously the first one I have, oops, bring this in here, focus, there we go. So pigment number 170, This is the Kimera Kolor. It's called The Red. I have AK Interactive Scarlet. This is Vallejo's Flat Red, number 957. I have the new Scale 75 Artist Color Primary Red. There is no pigment color on this, which I was kind of surprised that I thought that it would have one. There's a Cad Red Medium Pure from Utrecht, which is an Artist Color Acrylic, series number 4. It's a heavy body paint, and this one does have a pigment color, and that is number 108. Okay, so essentially that's what I'm going to do is just take those colors. I will lay them out. I also have a couple of figures I will show you at the end that I've painted using just these Kimera colors, so you can see what they look like on a miniature. And once I get that set up, I will be right back. Talk to you soon. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the little delay, although for you probably didn't seem that long. To do this, I'm going to use my Winsor Newton Series 7 number 6 brush, and essentially all I'm going to do, this is just plain water, dip it in that, and then just streak these paints along this. I will zoom back out so you can actually see the entire tabletop here, but at least you can see the paints and you can see what I'm doing. Also, I don't think I mentioned it, but the Kimera colors do have an agitator in them, just like the AK Interactive. And when I shake them, I do shake them by hand a little bit, but then just to kind of get them started. But I do actually have a vortex mixer, which is a scientific instrument for shaking test tubes and things like that. So essentially used in like chemistry labs and that sort of thing. So that's what I actually use to shake my paints, for those that need it. Obviously these two don't need that. So without further ado, let's do this. Okay, so again, just my brush, some water, just kind of get the brush wet. Okay, and then just kind of go all the way out. Again, I'm going to clean it. Go into the scale 75. Here's the Vallejo. Here's the AK. Oops, I'm going to do it with this hand. And here's the Kimera. Okay. Nice, quick, easy, simple test. Not 100% scientific, and you are encouraged to do your own tests with your own paints. I do not own any of the Citadel or Game Workshops, whatever they're called. I don't own any of those paints, so I can't test them. And I have thrown out all of my hobby paints, you know, like from the Joann's or Michael's, the craft paints, I guess, not hobby paints, craft paints. like Dream Coat and the other American Color or whatever it was called. I've thrown those out a long time ago, usually because they have dried out and things like that. So I don't have any of those to test it along with this, but I think you can see these worked out pretty well. I was actually kind of surprised at how much this one didn't drag out, and that was the scale 75. Having been used to artist acrylics before, I expected this. I was interested to see that the Vallejo actually comes out pretty good and starts to really thin out towards the bottom here, but the scale 75 stuff really is kind of almost picked back up again. That's kind of interesting. And the AK is pretty good too. So you can actually go along. It looks like you could really thin these out really well with pigments. So again, it's just what I have for this, and just a quick little review. I'm not going to get too in depth and go color by color. If you wish, you can go and pick up your own on that. So real quick, before the battery on my phone, my camera dies, I'm going to show you what I painted recently. I can get some light on the subject here. So I painted this. This is a Dark Sword miniature figure. It's 28 millimeter. And I painted this all with the Kimera Kolors. And I thought this turned out really well. The Kimera Kolors, like I said, go on pretty flat. They are very nice colors to work with. I was very happy with them. I do think their pigmentation, at least overall, is pretty good. So there's that figure. And then I painted this one, which is a Reaper 28 millimeter adventure. I actually kind of call this one Indiana Jones' little brother, Rhode Island Jones. And this again was also painted all with the Kimera Kolors, except for the metal bits like the gun and the machete here. I used a little mix of. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My phone started to ring. Anyway, so yeah, again, this is all Kimera Kolors, again, except for the machete and the gun. I used a little mix of Vallejo's gunmetal and silver to do the effects on that. But the interesting thing about this is all of this in here, all the browns and everything, the khaki and everything, are what I mixed. So I mixed this all with the colors that were in that kit. And as you can tell, the colors are pretty flat. They're really nice coloring. Really nice paint set. So if you're looking for something that's pretty good, I would definitely go with these. Yeah, just my 2 cents. Again, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed recently, and thank you to everybody who comments. Please like, share, subscribe, and please leave your comments below, and we talk about this. Like I said, I do like the Kimera Kolors. I think they actually work out pretty well, and I hope everybody is doing well. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.